morning.
How's everybody doing today?
Great.
So I know that Mike Ferry event started today, and I'm actually going later today after that. So I think there's some people going to that, as well as we're still into our summertime sitting. So let's jump right into this. I know and appreciate everybody being here. So let's do this. So the numbers, and I kind of ran through the numbers this morning versus last week. So just so everybody knows, I mean, if you don't know if you guys want to write these numbers down, but this is the change in it from last week. And you can see it right here. 3.2 change. 189 new homes came on the market in the over the last 7 days. Homes from single-family homes are 4,400 on the market. 533 price reductions.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Price too.
That's exactly right. They still think they're still listening to the news and other nonsense. So the best question you always ask your sellers are, do you want to sell your home or keep it on the market for a long time? Well, why do you say that? Well, I say that because right now, 221 homes came off the market in the last 7 days. Mr. Seller, why do you think that is? Well, I don't know. You tell me. Because they're overpriced. Right? Well, Jeff, Suzanne, Susie, Bob, Mike, I don't want to give it away. I'm not going to give it away. But if you want to sell it so you can get on to whatever that is, right? Because we found out what their motivation is. If somebody says to you, Heidi, so let me ask you, Heidi, why do you want to sell your home? Well, I just want to see if you can give me $100,000 more than it's worth. Is that motivation? No. So we got to know what their motivation is so we can come back to them and say, if you want to get to Ohio, to wherever, we need to lower the price and get this home sold today. Right? I mean, guys, homes that are priced correctly are selling. And how do I know that? Well, I know that because we sold 132 more homes in the last 7 days than we did the past 7 days. Right? So they are selling. The vacancy rate, that went up 49%. It's 49 now. Last week was 48. 141 new homes are vacant right now. And why do we care about vacant homes? They're easy to show. Yep. Right? They're easy to show. I can show them in a minute. If you have a listing that is vacant, I always say just be careful saying it's vacant, only because agents will just go there without calling you. Right? I mean, it happens all the time. I don't know, Suzanne, is that happening in your listings that you have that are vacant? They just show up. You don't even know. You go there and you see cards on the table, you're like, they never even called. So I'm always leery about that myself. So just be careful how you do that. We got about a half a week's more worth of inventory. Let's see here. Homes from 100,000 to 400,000. We have 42 more homes on the market in that price range. Homes from 800,000 to 400,000, 800,000. There's 128 more in that market. And then homes that are over 800,000, there's plus 22 more. I mean, guys, so the market is still doing very well, especially if they're priced correctly. Under contract is down 52. Under contract shows down 22. And under contract no shows down 30. So the market is still moving, you guys. We just have to make sure we're really, really, really paying attention to what's going on. I know the numbers. I see only a couple agents ever doing videos about the numbers. And I think when we do that, we're not letting the society and the public know that we know what's going on in the market. I've got these 10 tips on how to negotiate. And right here, tip number 1 is greater product knowledge gives you confidence. That's the biggest reason why you want to know what's going on in the market, right? Most agents, when somebody says to them, how's the market? They don't know, so they go, it's fun, it's scary, it's exciting, it's neat, right? What does that mean? If I'm looking to sell my home or buying a home and you tell me it's fun, scary, exciting, neat, what does that mean? Nothing, right? But when you talk from knowledge, product knowledge, number 1 in negotiating is product knowledge. So please make sure you guys are really, really watching it. We're still selling homes, they just have to price correctly. I mean, guys, 533 price reductions, and this tells you right here where the price, you guys all have them, the price reductions, where they're coming from. I mean, guys, price reductions, like I said, if you're priced reduced, then you started out overpriced. And honestly, guys, I have never never in real estate have I ever had a problem taking a property that's, $5,000 or $10,000 overpriced. We just make sure they understand that if we get no action, we have nothing going on within 2 or 3 weeks, we have an issue, right? Because we need to make sure they understand that bell curve. In the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we have to start right here where we get is the hot spot. If we wait after that, it starts to drop, and now your home is dated, and then people think you're desperate or there's something wrong with the property. And so we got to really make sure we're watching for that. And they have to understand that bell curve, guys. And if you guys don't, it's in our listing presentation that we have. You need to make sure you're really watching that because that's important. Because after that it drops, and then it's stale, and now they don't think you're doing anything. I mean, you guys, I get calls all the time. I just had one. The agent isn't doing anything. They suck, and I want to withdraw it unconditional. So let me ask you this: if a seller says to you, "I want to take my home off the market unconditional," what does that mean? That means they're talking to another realtor. Because sellers have no idea what unconditional release means. Right? Because when we're a listing agent, we don't talk about that. As soon as they call you and say, "Hey, by the way, I want to take this withdrawal unconditional," you know they're talking to another agent. Question: is that legal?
Unethical.
It's unethical, for sure. Probably not, it's probably illegal, maybe not illegal in the law sense, but it's definitely unethical. There's definitely, we have the code of ethics, right? That we can certainly file a complaint with the division over. I mean, guys are not, just I had one where they called me, and it was one of my listings, this is several years ago, and it was weird because the seller just went MIA on me. So I withdrew it. I just withdrew it conditional because I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't know what was going on. So she called me, freaked out. "How come you withdrew my house conditional? I haven't heard from you for 2 weeks. I've been trying to call you. That's why." It's unfair to the public to leave a home on the market when we can't get a hold of anybody, right? And I said, "Well, I'm glad you contacted me. Thank you. What made you call me?" "Well, I had an agent call me and say they want to list my house." "Really? Can you let me give the agent's name because I'd like to call him and congratulate him." Right? I mean, guys, this is our business. This is what we're doing. So please, if they're telling you that, make sure that you understand what they're talking about, please.
So if a seller, or let's say a person calls you and says, "Jeff, I hate my agent, I want
Yeah.
to list it with you."
They want to list with me?
Yeah.
No. Now, you mean me, Jeff, as the broker, or just Jeff as
Yes,
individual?
a realtor. If
Right.
someone called me and said, "Hey, I was referred by so-and-so, I'm listed with someone else, I don't like my agent," then what? Then,
If the home's in ER status,
yeah.
okay, then I would say, "No, I'm probably sorry, I can't talk to you right now until the home is withdrawn unconditional. Is the only time I can talk to you, because right now it's on the
You
market."
can say that. You
I
can
would
say-
probably say that, yes.
You can say that.
Yeah, I can say that,
That would
yes.
say-
I wouldn't say your agent's a scumbag, no wonder why I didn't
No,
sell, okay?
I would never, but I'm saying, can you say, "I
Yes.
don't list it unless your home's."
Well, what you're gonna say is, "Listen, I appreciate you calling me, but I can't talk to you even about it because the home is on the market." And what are they gonna say to you? "Well, how do I get it off the market?" "Well, you need to talk to the broker and get it withdrawn unconditional, then somebody else can list the property," right? We're not saying it, like you said, that's why on the bottom of our stuff, it has to say, if your property's on the market, right, if it's listed or whatever, this is not solicitation for it, because that's what's going on. But you guys, it's every day this happens, right? But listen, and we've talked about this a million times. If we don't police our own business, guess who's gonna do it? Has anybody heard of the Department of Justice? Right? Guess what they just did? They policing our business, right? And then what's the news media saying? Well, it's about time the age has been reined in, screwing people at 6 and 7% forever. That's the minimum number. And I heard the news say that. Well, that's always been the commission. There's never been. The commission has always been the negotiable item. But that's what society believes. So my point to all this is, if you're having issues like that, somebody's calling on you, and this lady I said, "Well, why do you want to listen?" "Well, I want to listen with a new agent." "Okay, well, we have 300 plus agents. We can certainly find an agent to take care of it." "Oh, no. What we're going to do is we're going to take it out and leave it off the market and not do anything for a while because we need to think about it and meditate." Okay, well, good, we'll just leave it in WC status then, and we'll just let it expire. Oh, no, I really, it'd make me feel better in my heart if we didn't have it on the market at all. Okay, great. Who's the agent you're talking to? Oh, no, I'm not talking to you, right? I mean, this is the shit that they start to do, you guys. So we need to make sure that we, like you said, listen, it's easy to say, listen, appreciate you calling, but I can't deal with any of this because it's unethical. It's our code of ethics, right? And I heard that, I think it was Lee Barrett that said when he takes a listing, he actually gives them a copy of the code of ethics. I thought, wow, that's kind of interesting, right? Do you? Good. I mean, highlight the things, right? Because they need to know that's what's going on. But guys, this is what's going on in our business right now. So just watch it. Like you said, you guys, the market number, these are the numbers, right? The thing about it is people lie, but the numbers don't, right? So just make sure you're paying attention to that. I love that part in Titanic when the one guy says, but it's unsinkable. And the engineer says, I promise you, it'll be at the bottom of the ocean tonight, right? The mathematics don't lie, and that's exactly where we're at. That's just a cleaner way of doing it. We're still about 2 months, 2 weeks worth of inventory, so I think that's it. This is 36 days of generally on the market. So like I said, I think it's just a really good number. Just make sure we're watching up. Whoops, sorry Heather, I passed you right up, girl. Okay, come on, slow down. You're gonna have to hurry. You might switch. All right, everybody, give Heather a big hand real quick. This is our new rep for all of our Summerlin and Northwest. Congratulations.
So many of you guys I've met with. I've had an office here for a month and a half or so, since July. Now I'm going to be here and Summerlin. So I'm going to have a couple days here in the office, and I'm going to have a couple days in the Summerlin office. As it stands now, I'll probably be here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Summerlin Thursdays, Fridays, Mondays back and forth, and that might still vary a little bit depending if I have appointments or classes. So you know how to find me. I'm in the old compliance office up front. My phone number is on the door, so if you guys want anything, please find me.
But you don't do compliance.
I do not do
Or
compliance.
handout
Yes, the girls up front do that. Okay, so we have a couple classes today that we're offering online. Rock Title is sponsoring a class for what was called KB Core. Now it's called Bold. I know Suzanne uses this and her team, I believe. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about it, it's not a rock product and it's not a Realty One product, but some agents do use this.
So KB Core changed their name? Is that really?
Yeah, because they bought Boomtown recently.
Oh, wow.
So they kind of rebranded.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so that is at 1 o'clock today. Tomorrow in the Summerlin office, we do have a speaker that's coming in to talk about Facebook ads. You know, I do get a lot of people asking about, I'll just advertise on Facebook, but because we're in the housing industry, we have to be careful what demographics and what we choose on there. So there are a lot of restrictions for our industry. So if you want to learn a little bit more about those restrictions, you can come to the Summerlin office tomorrow at 11. Ideally RSVP first to either Suzanne in the Summerlin office or to myself, and then I can RSVP for you guys. And then I did have a lot of success and interest in our video class we taught a couple weeks ago, and a lot of people missed it. So I'll probably be putting together another one of those classes soon. Jocelyn is our best student from that class. She's on a lot of videos. I do have a ring light in my office, which I'm okay letting you guys borrow, but they're really cheap. You can get one on your phone too. It does make a difference for us ladies. I think it kind of smooths things out.
What'd you call it?
A ring light.
Oh, okay. I thought you said a rain light. I'm like, what? It's a ring.
Just, soft
Okay, that's a ring.
lighting.
Okay, gotcha,
It makes
gotcha,
it look a
gotcha.
little bit better.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty much it. So I'm here to help you guys with your marketing, whatever you guys need. Oh, and sorry, also Tim Sams, he is still with the company. He's going to be overseeing all 4 of our offices, and he's going to be doing a lot of the training and technology. So a lot of classes. If you guys have an interest and want to learn more on a subject, send me an email or Tim an email. We'll be setting up classes coming up for whatever you guys have an interest in.
And I think with Tim, and you guys have seen Tim in here several times, he does I think this is his niche.
It
I
is,
think this
yeah.
is his spot. I think it's gonna charge his batteries, cause I think he enjoys teaching, so I think he's gonna,
Yeah,
I
he's
think
got
he's
a
gonna
lot
excel.
of
Yes.
charisma when he talks and teaches classes. I've been to some, so I think we're all real happy about this change, so that's all I got today. Thank
All right,
you, guys.
good job, thank you, appreciate it. All right, John, you're on deck, my man. Give John a big hand for those who don't know him. Introduce yourself, John.
So I'm John with Epic Lending. I'm over all of the offices, so I have to spread out everywhere. On that note, if you have a lender you really like and you'd like to see him in orange or orange and black or whatever, or in this office, let us know. We're looking. We want to add to the team. We need more people. It's getting busy. This is the calm before this. It's a short window. This window, I've been talking about this window for months, and it's closing. All right. They, just in 2 weeks, we went from a 7% chance of the Fed cutting in September to 100%, right? The entire Fed is gonna have a mutiny on Jerome Powell if he does not cut in September. Everybody's on board. And now they're thinking it might be a larger cut than expected.
Yay.
So if you've seen the Dow today, you'll understand what's going
Gee, I
on.
wonder if it's an election.
Oh my gosh, but it doesn't have anything to do with
No,
it.
no.
It's all the numbers,
Yes, yes.
right?
It's the time.
I have to tell you, I'm a fan of Jerome Powell, man. He is a G. He freaking worked this perfectly. He looks like a kid.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's a saint.
He's coming out smelling real clean on this one.
Yeah.
But just know, this window's closing. You guys should have been getting in front of all your buyers, everybody you lost over the last year that went, silent because they couldn't afford it. You've got to get back in front of them, because when this thing swings, it's going to swing hard, and you're going to be like, where'd all the inventory go?
Right.
It'll be gone, right? Talk about video. If I were you guys, I'd start understanding the Nevada housing program or other programs where they can get the down payment assistance. It doesn't take much to walk into a $400,000 home and say, hey, this home qualifies for up to $16,000 down payment assistance. They don't know this. We assume that everybody knows they can buy a house with down payment assistance. All right? And they can get up to 4%. DR Horton has great programs. Get with them, because they can kick my ass all day long on lending. So use them, sit down, say, how do we get creative? How can I do some videos to get more buyers in here? Leverage that. If I'm an agent, I'm leveraging the crap out of that, all right? Get creative. If you got a seller that's willing to offer concessions, $400,000 house, all of a sudden, you can get up to $16,000 in down payment assistance, and the seller's willing to offer a little more, so you can get into this house for almost nothing. Quick, easy video, and how many leads are you gonna get? A ton. So get creative, use this short window, reach out to me. I've got all kinds of national products. A lot of people, there are income limits and so many different down payment assistance programs, but we can get someone into any.
Well, the big thing too is, we just talked with Ricky yesterday, is that you guys are really super competitive now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, almost you can't be beat on your competitive. So you guys, when you're working with a buyer and you're working with somebody else, make sure they give John a shot, give Ricky a shot, let's see what they can do. The one thing that I see a lot, and you guys know this better than I do, is you see, well, I seen an email where it said that I can get 2% interest. Well, yeah, you have to be 18 feet tall, and you gotta be, you got all these stipulations that nobody can ever reach,
Yeah.
right? So you make sure your clients are understanding that. Listen, just because it says that doesn't mean you're gonna get it or qualify for it.
I can beat most builders, because usually they're just being creative and manipulating numbers. Like I said, DR Horton, they got something going, right? Their in-house lending is ridiculous. I don't know what they did, okay, but they're doing it, and numbers-wise, you just can't beat buying a DR Horton with DR Horton lending.
Yeah, I mean, listen, new homes have been the market.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we've sold more new homes in the last 2 or 3 years than we've ever sold forever almost.
Yeah, but
So
the rest
it's
of
an amazing
them,
opportunity.
it's hard for me to lose to. Okay, so I'm taking deals from builders all the time. So get with me. Let's come up with some creative strategies, because like I said, that window's closing, and these videos aren't gonna work very long, because your down payment assistant offers aren't gonna get accepted when we lose inventory. So,
Perfect.
All right.
Do you have any cards? John's office is right there. Do you have any cards in there you wanna hand out?
I'll leave some.
Okay.
So, all right. See you guys.
Thanks, John, and congratulations, man.
Thanks.
You're doing good. All right, so a couple things I want to talk about, you guys, and then I'll bring up Tony in 2 seconds. So, I just got, there are 10 quick steps on how to negotiate. And then I'll give this to you guys if somebody wants it. So, we talked about it. Greater knowledge gives you confidence in this real estate business. You've got to know what's going on. And I say this, and I know a lot of you guys are probably saying, man, dude, quit beating it into our heads about knowledge. You've got to know what's going on. I promise you, most agents have no earthly idea what's going on in a real estate business. And how do I know that? Because I talk to them. Memorize your basic scripts. I talked to somebody about Mike Ferry. I've always liked Mike Ferry. And the thing that I like Mike Ferry about the best for Jeff, he's no nonsense. He's not worried about hurting your feelings. He's here. Do you want to buy or sell? Let me do it or not. Go on, do it. That's why I like him. Tom Ferry's son, guy, sweet. All those, there's bunches, right? Just depending on who you like. But you got to know what's going on. You got to have a script of some sort. You've got to know a script, right? Johnny Carson made about $50 million a year, every year. And what did he do? He had a script in front of him. And he would stand there and read it, right? I think you guys can do the same, right? The scripts are not that difficult. I have scripts as well. Focus on their motivation. Focus on their concerns. We have to make sure that, and I was telling an agent the other day, I said we have 2 of these and 1 of these, which means we need to do more time listening than we do talking. I'm with you. I have a hard time doing the same thing. I want blah, 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 instead of listening more. So I have the same issues. We just have to focus on their motivation and what they want. I get calls that say, my agent isn't listening to me. I can only afford a $400,000 house, and they're showing me $500,000 houses. What's the problem when you do that? When they can only afford 400 and you're showing them 500, what happens?
Wasting everyone's time.
And they go, I can't, that house is what I want. I can only afford this one. I'm staying home. I'm not going to buy now. Right? Is a $500,000 house nicer than a $400,000 house? Generally, right? That's the problem. Show them what they can afford. Listen, can you negotiate $4,000 or $5,000? Absolutely. Just be careful, okay? Because I do get them calls. So focus on the motivation and concerns. Here's the biggest one I think I don't think we have a whole lot of these in our office, honestly, you guys, but they've got to master your control, your ego, and your emotions. I see that more than anything in real estate is the egos that we have in this business. You wonder why people don't think that we're overpaid? We got realtors leaning on a Ferrari talking about how great they are and how much homes they've sold. And then they go, well, that's why society didn't think we're worth what they think we're all overpaid. Is that right there. Guys, if you want to have a Ferrari or whatever, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. You don't need to sit on it and talk to people about how great you are. And that's all. We all know what I'm talking about. They're all over. We know that 5 or 8 people that do it every goddamn day. Just sell houses and put money in the bank and live, right? We got to fucking brag to everybody else about it. Eliminate argumentative language and soften your tonality. You got to remember who we're talking to, right? I scream at everybody. That's who I am, right? I try to bring it down. One of you guys might remember Catherine. Catherine was my old OA. She was an amazing, amazing lady. When I talked to her, I had to say, hi, Catherine, how are you doing today? It's really nice out. Here's what's going on. Because I would talk to her normally, she would be cowering. Right? I don't know who you're talking to. You know, your tonality. Like I say, it's hard for me, trust me. I'm used to screaming at everybody. So eliminate the argumentative language. Focus on getting them into reality rather than making them wrong. Right? I mean, I see that a lot where we're just trying to force them into something. Get them into reality. Listen, here's what happened. And I like what John kind of said is that I think we should all have this, especially when we're going to buyers, is you don't have to have exact numbers, but you know, when you're talking to somebody and they're renting or whatever, say, by the way, what's your house payment or your rental? Well, I mean, guys, it's not unusual to see $2,000 rent today. An apartment, right? Well, do you realize that if you had 3.5% down and you bought an FHA loan, you could buy a $400,000 house, your payment would be $2,200 a month. Did you realize that? Because most don't. I mean, it's insane some of the stuff I'm seeing today for rent. I mean, should everybody own a home? No, absolutely not. Guys, not everybody should own a home. But my point is, if somebody's thinking about owning a home and they don't know, because there's a lot of people are scared, just like during the short sale of foreclosure. I was not unusual, and Heidi might be with me on this, to go over to somebody's house that their home was in short sale or foreclosure. They had a stack of mail like that from the bank that they didn't open. Well, if I don't open it, I don't know it, and their lives is grand. Until they get a knock on their door and say, by the way, you have 30 days to be out, right? So make sure we're focusing on the reality rather than making them wrong. Do your research and prepare for the meeting. I don't think we do enough of that. Just like when we're taking a listing, don't show up early, be ready, be prepared, show them what's going on. I mean, guys, a listing present today, and I don't know what, like Suzanne or how you guys do, a listing appointment today should be 30, 40 minutes tops, right? Most people today are scared when a realtor wants to come over because they think they're gonna be here for 8 hours, right, talking about it. So please just make sure do your research and prepare for the meeting, and let them know right up front. By the way, our meeting should take about 45 minutes, and all things being equal, unless you have questions, it should be pretty quick, it won't be that long. So make sure you're telling them that. More options and data can lead to indecision. Be careful, right? I mean, I'm gonna probably be sexist here right now, and please don't take it that way. I don't wanna take my wife to the frickin' paint center because there's 18,000 colors. What color do you want? Gray. Okay, I'll go down and I'll pick 4 colors. Which one do you like? Right? So don't give them so much information, guys, where it overwhelms them. Right? I think the numbers that we have, you can do them in the nicer way if you like, because it's a little more simpler. Right? But I think if you give them the numbers, just make sure you explain to them what they mean. Because at first looking at it, you could go, holy, what the heck's going on with this? Make it simple and don't give them way too many decisions, right? If you're working with a buyer, and this is what I tell them, I'm teaching a buyer's class tomorrow, as a matter of fact, in the Summerlin office at 9 o'clock, how to work with a buyer and get your offer accepted. Because I see this a lot too with buyers and buyers agents. Well, Jeff, I've showed my buyer 782 homes on the market, and they still haven't made a decision. What should I do? Drop them.
Show them another 700.
Yeah. Drop them is what I tell them. Right? I mean, the guys, to do it is you send them 20 homes that are close to what they're looking for. Tell them to pick the 10 that they like, drive by all 10, and tell me which 5 you want to look at. Will buyers waste your time?
Yes.
Yep. Will they drain your batteries? 100%. Will you be exhausted by the end of the day? Yep. And like we talked one day, I was talking about somebody, oh yeah, I had my buyers and I showed them, 32 homes, and then I took them to lunch and we were out longer, so I ended up taking them to dinner. What? What do you mean you're taking them to dinner and lunch? I want my doctor to take me to lunch. Stop doing that. Treat this like a business. The more simple, clean, and calm your communication is, the better off you are. Right, guys? That's like, you guys know me. I'm kind of to the point. I try not to be really rude, but I try to be right to the point. Come on, let's get this thing done. There's days I have to have conversations with agents. I listen to their story and say, by the way, you did that wrong. You should have done it this way. Right? We got to tell them the truth, but we got to be calm. We got to get to the point. Can't keep messing around with it. And then don't give up too easy. I think a lot of times, I know I would, and I have agents that are amazing, because I would say I would have dropped that client a year ago and they ended up selling them a home. Everybody's different, right? So that's the thing, and I know there's a couple of you guys that have said, what should I do? Get rid of that person, right? And they said, well, I sold them a home 6 weeks later. Good for you, right? So there are days that I would give up because I don't want the hassle. I want to be professional. This is a business. I want to make money. So there's some little tips there, you guys. These are some negotiating tips. I got a copy right here if anybody wants it. So just let me know. But guys, it's little things I think that we do. We have to make this business simple. Let's don't complicate it. I think a lot of times we make it complicated to justify making $12,000 or whatever that number is. So don't, make it easy, make it simple. All right, Tony, come on up, give him a big hand. Thank you, appreciate you, Tony.
Thanks, Jeff, appreciate it. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Great to see all of you. So I'm Tony Panera, I'm a DR, been there 10 years, been in real estate here in Vegas since 1990. We were chatting earlier, I was in resale for 20 years, and I was with Realty One Group for 7 years in Green Valley, so I'm an alumni.
Absolutely, and when it was still small.
Yeah, tiny. They were just talking about how much the company's grown. So D.R. Horton, let's talk about, before I get into my community, just a couple stats for you guys. So D.R. Horton's been around since '77. The interesting thing about Mr. Horton was he was a realtor. He was a real estate guy. He wasn't a builder. So that was how he got into business. And he said, I can probably build homes better than some of these guys here in Texas. And that's how it started. So since then, we've grown to be the #1 builder. We're #1 in the country with 1,000 closings last year. So huge numbers. Lennar's a distant second at about 65. KB is maybe 5th place. So just kind of give you some perspective, because sometimes your clients may not know who's DH Horton or Dr. Horton. You might have heard that. So now you have a little background to tell them who we are. So I'm going to give you some figures here. I'm going to tell you, first of all, our operating revenue last year was almost 37 billion with 5 billion in profit. So what does that mean for you guys?
Means you're getting a raise.
Yeah, I'm going to give you another number, $950 million. You guys know what that is? Give me a guess, something. $950 million.
Incentives.
That's the commissions we paid to our realtor partners last year, almost $1 billion. So as you know, if you go to a D.R. Horton community, you don't have to worry about, is it gonna be a flat fee? Is it gonna be nothing? Is it gonna be a tiered commission? It's too much mind F, what am I gonna do? My client's gonna go there and, I'm not gonna get paid. We go up at 3% on everything. That's because Mr. Horton was a realtor and we embraced the realtor community. So one thing I wanna mention too is incentives. I know we talked about that. So what we're doing at my community, I'll get into that in just a moment. You have a flyer there. So financing is key. Obviously, price point, D.R. Horton's trying to meet the market and bring affordable housing to the market and pay our realtors what they deserve for their hard work. So 5 1/4 is our FHA VA rate. We also do $7,500 for closing costs. Now, if somebody's closing costs might be a little more, we'll get with our lender or loan officer. And if it's, say, closing cost is $9,300, I'll submit an offer, see if we can't get it all paid. So just know that your people are gonna be taken care of. My goal with every buyer that comes through the door at my price point is they're typically first-time buyers, is to have them come in with a down payment, and that's it. That's my goal. And to get them into a home. The other thing about my community, it's townhomes. So we'll talk about that real quick. We're townhomes, we're off of Losi and Tropical. So if you know where the VA hospital is, we're not too far from there. So Losi and Tropical, that area's growing. There's a lot of builders. We have several communities in there. But my price point's low 300s. We start around 326 and go to 355.
Now, we'll be going there next week.
That's right.
Everybody knows that, so our business meeting next week will be at his property.
Yep, and that way we'll show you around there what we're doing there. So everything's included there. I will get into more detail at that point, but buyers don't have to come out of pocket with anything. They get in and close. The other thing that's great about that is investors love it too, because they don't have to go in and put washer, dryer, fridge. They don't have to put blinds in. There's no yards to take care of. And here's the really compelling thing. This is really awesome. The conventional rate that we have, somebody doesn't qualify for VA or FHA and they want to do conventional, investors can get the 599 as well. Now, I don't know where you can get an investor rate at 5.9, but we can do it.
Patrick, I see you're up there looking. He's like,
With no points.
1.5. But if you think about it, if you go to any other bank,
No, it's really good.
9%, they're gonna charge you 1.5 anyway.
Yeah.
So 25% down is what you need to do the program, and then their payment's gonna be under $2,000. So to your point you were talking earlier, I'm sorry, go ahead.
They still pay the 7,500 closing costs
Yes.
for investors as well?
We do. And here's the other thing that's really great. Most builders, you go in as an investor, they're like, okay, well, we have a limited amount, we'll sell to an investor, but we want 25,000 down earnest money, or we want 10% earnest money. Our EMD is 3,000 for owner occupied, and it's 3,000 for investor. So an investor can come in, $3,000 EMD, get a 5.9 rate, and everything's included in the home. So, as far as the sizes that we have, there's 4, and you guys will see them next week. Go ahead.
Are these only townhomes?
These are townhomes.
There are no homes in that area?
We have a sister community called Kalia Bay, that's behind me. They're low 400s. In fact, if you guys want to run over there next week when you're there, it's kitty corner to me.
okay.
So I'll let Andres know that if you guys want to stop and see the single family, we have it. So we have 4 detached product around there too.
If we register a client with you, do we have to register them to all the different ones?
You
Does it
do.
automatically, or we have to go physically take?
Yeah, no, we have an internet concierge that you can call. You typically have to register every community so we can put in our database. But me being a realtor for as long as I was, I know you can't be everywhere at once. And Amy and I were talking earlier. She has a client coming out. If you can't make it, call me. I prefer you come out, obviously, but that way I can go ahead and put you in the system. And because people, they're going to look at 30 homes that are here for 2 days from California. It's like herding cats. So I totally get that.
So for the investor loan, is it still 20% down or is it 30%?
We can do 20%, there's more points involved. The sweet spot is 25% down. So if you put 25% down, your EMD's 3,000, you get to 7,500. Yeah. And then the range that we have, we start in the low threes. There's 1,300 square feet, 2 plans that are 1,300, 2 plans that are 1,400. Most of them are 2-car garage. There is a smaller entry-level plan with a 1-car garage. And then HOA is 103, so that's important because most multifamily stuff is over 200. So we're 103 with 2 parks and a pool, and it's gated. So come out and see me next week.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, I think so too, you know? And it's, what I tell people too, like, a lot of kids will be buying their first home, and I'll look at the realtor and I say, well, and I'll tell the buyer there too, keep this for 3 or 4 years, guys, you know, because Amy's gonna find you a house when you're ready in 4 years, and then you can build your portfolio. This is your first step.
Right, this is your resident. Is there a sit or a lid on?
There's not. Yeah, just the 103. So it's a really good entry-level product, and we actually see a lot of move-down buyers. We see people that are older that are done, you know, with the big yard and stuff, and they travel a lot. So I'm seeing a lot of that too.
Lock and leave.
That's it.
Lock and
Be
leave.
great for that too. And a great location, a lot of shopping all around.
So after August 17th, is it gonna be business as usual for builders?
It will be for us. Yeah, as far as I know. I know that there's another builder out there now that's doing a $500 flat fee. Some builders may use this as an opportunity.
Boom! Boom! Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
We know who they are.
we never want to mention names, Touchstone, but.
They don't even pay in some development if the people are
Yeah.
paying by themselves.
They will give you a nice hearty handshake though.
So,
Whatever, like, thank you.
I also understand that if a builder is offering a bonus, we can't take them anymore after August 17th.
A bonus?
Like
Like
a bonus, like if you said, oh, we're closing out the space and we have 3 homes left, we'll pay you commission plus a bonus.
We've done it in the past. I can't speak to that because I don't know yet. We haven't done bonuses in so long.
I didn't think you did.
You know, we haven't. We used to back in the day.
Okay.
But good thing to know about us is that D.R. Horton, as far as I know, is the only brokered MLS builder. Most builders are going to have what they call a builder developer, but we have a broker of record. I'm in the MLS. They pay all my MLS dues. That's why you see my listings. So we get it. We speak the same language,
Right.
and that's why I don't think anything's going to change with D.R. Horton. It's the realtor community is such a big part of our business, and our commitment to you guys is solid.
Cool, thanks.
All right. Anything else?
Well, and the thing that's so funny you said that, Heidi, because it's still moving parts. On Friday, we talked about on the Resora, we talked about a 5-page buyer's broker's representative agreement. On Monday, they got it down to 2 pages.
Well,
Okay.
when I went
On
through-
Tuesday, today, hey, we're going back to 5 pages.
when I
So,
talked to them, I mean, they said.
We don't know what the hell's going
They're
on.
like,
Right.
don't really get into those drafts that are on, that we all got sent.
Yes.
That they're gonna change.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of changes. Now, if anything does change on my end, I'll call you, Jeff, and say, this just came down the pike from our corporate, so we can have that communication open.
Well, the thing too, you guys, D.R. Horton and several other builders that we are partners of ours, we've always welcome them in because they do take care of the realtors. The ones who are not, you know, we're not obviously gonna have those in. I think it's ridiculous that when they need us, they're all over us, and when they don't, they say go away. And that's where D.R. Horton and several others don't do that.
Consistent.
It's like you just said, they're paying 3%, they're not messing around with it.
Right.
And you know, when it's actually an insult when you're bringing somebody there and they're giving you $500 and we gotta deal with, some's a referral, some, we don't know what's commission. We've been doing that with Jocelyn here. It's like, they're calling it a referral so they won't sign a commission order. I mean, it's just like, come on, you guys, can you make it any more difficult for all of us? So that's the thing, where like D.R. Horton, like you said, several others of our partners that come in here, we make sure that, I shouldn't say we, they take care of the agents and that's why we're allowed to come in and do their thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jeff, thanks.
Thank you, Tony, appreciate it. Any other questions, anybody? Cool. Thanks, Tony, we'll see you next
guys
week.
Next week.
Like I said, absolutely, thank you,
All
appreciate
right,
it.
guys. Have a good one.
So, wow, this thing is, so this is our $1 Million Club, for, June. Next Tuesday, come on, you gotta be kidding me. Broker panel, Thursday at Tim's office at 9:30. That's just gonna be all of us, you guys are more than welcome to come and see that. We're just gonna sit there and, kinda like the dating game, you know, what was that old one we used to do, 3 guys behind, 3 girls? Hey, I like watching the beat, remember, what was that show called? Remember they had the girl, one guy or girl here and they were hidden? What was that called?
Dating.
Was it the dating game? Okay, all right. I couldn't read. I didn't know if I was right or not. Anyways, we're doing the dating game. Except we were able to see us. That's in the Summerlin this Thursday. Rev up starting August 1st. We have decided, the brokers, all of us yesterday, that we're, for the rest of the year, after August 1st, we're gonna do all of the Zooms, all the business meetings. Come on, Jeff. All the rev ups on Zoom. We're gonna see if that helps agents, because there's been days that we only have 1 or 2 agents that actually come in the office, and we'll have 6 or 8 on Zoom. So we're gonna see, just switch it up and see how that looks. But that won't be till August 1st when we go back to the Southwest office, which obviously won't matter because we're doing them on Zoom anyways. However, tomorrow, I'll be teaching this class right here, 9 to 11, working with buyers and getting your offers accepted. And then we're gonna go over the right way to work with a buyer. Everybody that knows me know that I hate buyers, but I'm gonna teach you the right way to work with a buyer. Ready, willing, and able, and not waste your time and energy.
When are you teaching?
Tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the Summerlin office.
But they have the Facebook class.
That's at 11.
11, yeah, they'll do it right after we're done. Yeah, they'll do it right after I'm
So go
done.
to both.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that, and then like I said, the rest of these will all be live until August 1st, which I just seen right here. The second is gonna be, so we'll have to talk about that one. But anyways, you guys, the Red Book classes I think are really good, so please make sure.
It'll be all recorded, right?
We do have it recorded on, come on, what the hell's it called? One Realtor Resource. So yeah, they're all recorded on One Realtor Resource. So make sure you do that. And then these are the classes, we don't know what they're gonna be teaching, but all the forms. Now, Tim and I are gonna teach the Buyers Brokers Agreement, BBRA, and we were talking about doing it, I wanna say it was the 24th and the 27th. One we'll do it at Tim's office, and then we'll do it here. Something like the July 24th in Tim's office, and then on the 31st in this office. And we're gonna go over the BBRA, and like I said, it was funny because I talked on Friday, one second, Heidi, on Friday about the 5, and then on Monday it was changed to 2, and I think now we're going back to 5. And you guys, know, again, I don't pull any punches, but to me, it's just more lawyer gobbledygook, is all it is. It's 5 pages of lawyer stuff,
Can that
please.
be credited to continuing education since it's a?
No, they don't do
Is
that.
that required or?
It's not required, no, but if you wanna learn the forms, because the purchase agreement's changed, the listing agreement's changed, and the BBRA has changed, please.
I'm not sure, I don't think it's actually in the class they're teaching, I mean, you look at the hours, 8 to 4.
Yeah, no, it's over the form. It's a form.
Let me just come in and.
Yes, yeah, you don't have to register, just walk in.
Not
Yeah.
teaching anything.
But again, you guys, it's gonna be an LVO, we're doing them as well, but this is just, like you said, it's gonna, you can walk in and just do them. It's not C classes. Please, Heidi.
So, but I went to the first one, and Mary Perry said that the old BBA and the new is gonna remain. So you can use either one, but to defer to your broker. So are
Right.
you guys, or maybe you haven't decided
Right.
yet,
Right.
are you gonna ask us to use one or the other?
It's gonna be a requirement, you guys, it's gonna be a
Well, I
requirement.
know we have to use it, but the old one?
I think personally, Jeff, and we'll talk more about it, to what the other manager do, I would accept either one.
Okay,
Right, I think the 3 is perfectly fine.
because,
I don't think it needs to be changed.
so if I had one signed already, I don't need to go have it
Correct,
re-signed? Okay.
yes, correct. Like I said, we'll talk more with the other managers about that, but I think the 3-page one is simpler to use. It's very easy to understand. This next one, and honestly, in all honesty, I have not sat and read every single line on it. But when I've looked at it, I'm like,
I know.
okay, is it more lawyer stuff in here? So that's the part that I don't like myself personally. So yeah, and then Tim said this. Use the 5-page for now, but it's gonna change.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me? How about we just leave it when we have? How about that, you guys? So, we're not, as of yesterday's meeting, we had manager meeting, Realty One Group is not gonna create their own form. And I strongly recommend we don't create our own form, because you're opening yourself up to, the Department of Justice, and those dingbats up there. Next week, we'll be at Tony's property. It's Hibiscus, because Garden is where the street is. It's gonna be right there, it'll be a lot of fun, we'll do business, we'll walk through the properties, we'll do a business meeting. Any questions for me? I'm going to Mike Ferry after this, and then like I said, tomorrow I gotta teach, and then I'm going to Mike Ferry, and then Tim's thing, and then I'm going to Mike Ferry, and then Friday I go to Mike Ferry. If you try to call me, I won't be able to get a hold of you, but at a break or something, I'll call you and talk to you if there's something going on, okay? On that note, anything else?
No.
All right, everybody, have a great day.